Stankoven and jersey, I definitely got ripped off, bro. I've
From
not
where?
seen worse track.
Fanatics? Fanatics?
No, it was another site. It was like they claimed to be like a Fanatics supplier.
Oh,
Um,
you got scammed. You got scammed.
think
You got
so, bro?
scammed.
You think yeah, I've not
Yeah.
seen a UPS tracking number. I've not seen anything.
Yeah, you
So
got
either they're
scammed.
going to be really fake or I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. I got them for $70 each though. So it's like it
Would
was
you
worth it.
is that a Braves jersey you're wearing?
Yeah, I'm a
You
Braves
get
LARPer now. I bought this at the
would you
game.
did you
Wearing 'em.
I figured.
I'm a total LARPer now. I could name like four players on the team. Love the Braves.
Who'd you,
You know?
you think Jackson Blake's a Braves fan?
I'm about to have fake Jackson Blake, fake Stan Coben, and then a real Braves jersey. Like, can't get much better than.
All right. What'd you think of the new branding though? Like totally though.
Honestly, I really like it. I really like it. Because it's what we wanted at first, where it's like it's kind of like both fonts are represented.
Yeah.
But I like how it's spelled out. Like it makes it a little bit more kind of obvious. But like C to C doesn't really tell you much, but you see the coast to
Yeah.
coast, and it's like okay,
Yeah, it's the coast to coast show now, not the coast to coast podcast.
coast to coast show.
I like the coast to coast show. I think it flows off the tongue better.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
Anyways, we have a hockey season to talk about, but we have a huge bomb to talk about. And I'm not talking about the one I left in Chipotle a few minutes ago. No,
Ayo,
I wasn't in Chipotle, but
he
yeah,
got banned because he left the bomb last time.
The Brady the Brady Tkachuk trade. Whew.
They're, they're calling him
That was
Freddy
a
Tkachuk, man.
Trady Tkachuk. Ooh. That was a real I don't know if it was really that much of a surprise, honestly. But
The way
I think it's just
like
the way it went down was kind of a surprise.
yeah, well, because now it's coming out that he requested the trade like a week after their playoff series against Carolina ended. And every insider that was talking about it, like Chris Johnson, Elliot Friedman, they were like kind of expecting it coming down the pipeline. Originally he had the four-team no trade list, right? Minnesota, Florida, Vegas, Carolina. We finally made it to the super team status. Thank you, Stanley Cup. Um, and then as it got closer and closer, it's like, yeah, no, he's gonna go to Florida pretty much no matter what.
I think
Um,
there was no other place for him to go. Like
no, it wouldn't really make
Vegas would have been funny as hell, but like no, that wasn't happening.
sense. Imagine they lose the
Minnesota
Cup
needs a
finals
center.
and then trade for Brady to Chuck like a couple days later.
Um, Minnesota needs a center. They don't need another winger. Carolina would have been interesting,
That would have been
but
a good fit.
there's just no way he wasn't going to play with his brother Matthew, and I think that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled. There's no
For
other way
what
to
it's
put it.
worth, I actually think the Senators did okay. Like if you had to trade this guy, like you knew you weren't gonna be able to keep him, that's about as good of a package as you're gonna get.
Oh, you're
And
getting
then
what? Two two first round picks in this
yeah,
draft with your
ninth and
own.
25th, and then the 29 first. I think 2030 first, right? And then a second
I think
round
it's
pick somewhere.
2029 first.
2029 first, and then the 2030 second.
Yeah.
That's not bad value for
I thought like Florida didn't really have to give up that much, honestly. Like that was
no.
it was kind of yeah, I'm checking my phone now because I don't think a trade is gonna break while we're recording, but you never know. You never
You never
know. This is
know.
the NHL.
Dylan Larkin trade's gonna break on this show. 100%.
Larkin in Minnesota, eh? That would I think it's just kind of like it's just like an interesting topic because I'm wearing the Team USA Olympic jersey. There's been a lot of talk about like the group chat or whatever they had going on. Like
There's some truth to it, man. Like
there's
it's not a
truth,
coincidence.
but I don't know. Like oh, it's so weird because like they treating this like the Epstein files. Like they don't want this to come out. Like
Because it's like we know the
we're
group
not
chat
putting that in there.
exists.
We're not putting
It
that in there. We're not putting that in
no.
the episode.
Okay. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I don't want black SUV showing up at my house. But
Yeah,
but
no, the USA files, man. What are they saying in that group chat?
yeah, no, it's like because yeah, first it was I mean, I guess Quinn technically Quinn Hughes doesn't count, but you got to think like he's kind of like the catalyst for all this.
Yeah.
Um, let's see who else. Who else am I thinking of? You got to think.
Larkin
Okay, not
requested a trade.
Larkin. Larkin requested trade mid Stanley Cup final. Brady Tkachuk requested a trade. There's talks about Hellebuck. Matthews is now getting up there in like Ruberville.
I've
It's
I've
just
heard that
crazy.
Matthews is actually gonna stay just because he's cool with the like the direction they're going in.
I guess that's fair, but if it goes south, like if it takes a very hard turn south, you got to think Matthews might be creeping his way into the market.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
could see that.
yeah, it's like it's wild because even then like all these guys are requesting to go play for the same four or five teams. Vegas, Carolina, Florida, Minnesota. Minnesota's on that list now. They haven't been to a conference finals in like 20 years.
Okay, I knew it wasn't just me. I knew Minnesota was really weird that they were being included in that. Like, why not Colorado? Why is it Minnesota?
I guess because it's like Quinn Hughes, Boldy, Faber,
Yeah,
they're all there too. Like if I had like if I had to say right now confidently where Dylan Larkin's going to go, I'm I would put money that he's going to Minnesota.
it makes the most
It,
sense.
yeah, but Vegas, I mean you got Eichel, Hannafin there. Florida, you already got the two Tkachuk brothers. That's
I
it,
hate that reality that we're in now. I mean, seriously, their top
I
nine
mean,
is
you had the feeling that at some point in both of their careers they were going to play with each other on the same team. It's just you didn't want it to be Florida, and now it's the reality that we're going to see Matthew and Brady on the same line with Sam Bennett. Holy no.
oh my God, bro. That's gonna be like prison
Oh,
rules out on the ice. It's
dude, prison
crazy.
rules. I saw
I
I
have to
saw
say,
someone I saw
I
someone on Twitter said that the that the Red Wings had the Russian five. The Panthers are gonna have the January 6th.
I saw that. It's a banger.
Twitter can be brutal
I have to
sometimes.
say, I really do not respect the way Larkin and Tkachuk are going out right now. I mean, seriously, like, okay, Larkin's a little bit more understandable because Detroit has
Yeah,
been bad, but like, you guys could have made the playoffs. It's
yeah.
entirely possible they can make the playoffs this next year, and he's out. Brady Tkachuk, they just started making the playoffs.
Hmm.
Like, they named you captain, gave you damn near keys to the city, and you're gonna leave because like the media was a little mean to you or because
He's
you
gonna
got
leave
booed
because
because of
Jordan Stahl bitched his ass in game one.
it. Jordan Stahl broke that man, dude.
Jordan
No,
Stahl
seriously.
gave Brady Tkachuk CTE.
That's his last series as a Senator. 0 points in 4 games, got his ass beat by a 37-year-old, and then Freddie
37-year-old
Anderson was
Conn
shutting down.
Smythe winner, by the way.
MVP. MVP.
By the way, we did post this on Instagram. We're gonna reveal the winner of who's getting the that T-shirt that I gotta buy because the Knights lost the cup.
We have a couple of
Uh,
options.
Couple options, yeah. Uh, we said we would get you a jersey. Unfortunately, there are no jerseys available on either Fanatics or the Kane store. Preferably the Kane store, because like if you, I swear, if I order from Fanatics, that thing's gonna get shipped. And it's gonna be it's gonna be a Macklin Celebrini kids youth extra small Sharks jersey.
Logo gonna be on upside down.
No, it's gonna
I
be at the,
have
it's gonna be at an angle where you like if you looked at it, you barely notice it, but once you notice it, it's gonna piss you off.
I have
That's
already
how
seen
Fanatics runs.
pictures of a couple of Cup Champs hat where the Canes logo is completely upside down. It's so funny.
That happened. Didn't that happen with one of Jarvis's jerseys one time? Because they were doing like a trading card thing.
Yeah,
That was a rumor I heard.
yeah, it was they were like cutting it off for a training card, but I guess they pranked him or something. But that shit was so funny. Seeing him on the bench, and I remember that game so clearly because seeing it on the bench, and then you just kind of look at him, you're like, wait a minute, something's not right. That swirl is incorrect, and it was completely
Yeah,
upside down. And it's like, come
they
on,
need to
man.
bring those back though. Hurricanes, it's time. You won the cup. You got to bring those jerseys back.
Yeah.
Rebrand after a cup year. You got to do it.
I mean, you won on your 20th anniversary, so obviously something worked about it. You might as well.
No, like the thing is about like I'm not like I'm sad Vegas lost the cup, but I'm a little bit more miffed that they won it in those road jerseys because I feel like those road jerseys could have been so much better than they are.
All they needed to do was keep the normal logo. Like
Normal
I,
logo and add borders to the numbers. I think you would have had a
yeah,
7 out of 10 jersey.
yeah. And unfortunately though, those jerseys are never going to go away now.
No,
Like we're in 20
they got to
years
do
we're going to be getting retro jerseys of that.
the full storm. You got to do the full Stadium Series branding now. You got to bring back the black one as the home. You got to make a red one.
I mean, the rumor is with their what's the line called of jerseys that's coming out next
The
year?
hometown remix
Hometown Remix. It's gonna be the Strut and Stormy that's on the patch, like the
on the
college
front.
looking. Yeah, yeah. It'll be entirely on the
I
front.
like that. I like that. I like that a
Yeah, me
lot
too.
actually.
But it just shows you like how that jersey's never going away now.
Yeah. But next season,
The next
that's
one.
next season. The next one. What's your favorite hurricane season? The next one.
The next one. No, it's gonna be this one for a while.
Uh, but we got to look back starting at the last NHL season. And we're going to start off with October and kind of the huge storyline, which of course involves the Vegas Golden Knights. They make another controversial goalie decision since the last one, which was trading Logan Thompson, signing Carter Hart. You, I mean, I guess he kind of helped Vegas get to the final. But if you were willing to sacrifice the PR, especially now that there's a PWHL team here, you need to win the cup. And he didn't.
Yep.
And I do have a feeling that even though Vegas has been included in Hellebuck rumors, and I would love Connor Hellebuck on the Golden Knights, especially with that Team USA chemistry, I do have a feeling that Hart will be on the roster in 26,
Really?
27.
You think they trade him?
No, not yet, especially on that 2 year deal, 2 million. I
Okay.
wouldn't be shocked if they even extended him once he's eligible for an extension. But um, Aiden Hill, I've heard things about Aiden Hill. I just want to before we go on because that was like the powerful like the season starting. The Hart storyline was huge when it broke because that was happening. It was the rumors starting like early, like as soon as it clocked in October, there were rumors that Carter Hart was going to Vegas. But I feel so
Yeah.
bad for Aiden Hill. Like Aiden Hill should have gotten at least one game in the Stanley Cup final.
It's incredible like how much Tortorella did not believe in him to the point where he's calling reporters morons for asking questions. They're idiots.
It's
Sorry.
and I'll be blunt. Aiden Hill has not had the best time in Vegas recently. He signed a 6 by 6 25 contract, which has
That
kind
was
of
bad
blown
the day it was signed,
already
by the way.
blown up in Vegas's faces. And the worst part, he switched to Brian's pads, which Golden Knights and goalies wearing Brian's pads do not mix. But it's I don't know what's up with the Golden Knights and goalies because I know there's like the narrative that oh Vegas hates or treats their players poorly. They don't treat the other players poorly. They treat the goalies poorly. Like
The
you think
goalies are
about
the worst ones, man.
the goalies get the worst bounce, and someday that's going to happen to Hart. Someday like it's going to happen to like Aiden Hill. I'm hearing maybe he goes to Florida. Like that's what I'm hearing. Aiden Hill
That
in
could make
Florida.
sense. Because Florida's not gonna be able to get Bob re-signed, I don't think. They don't want to give
Yeah,
him that many years.
there was an image that got leaked, which I think is fake, but it was like Bobrovsky and the Leafs. Like, there's no way they're gonna do that. There's no way the Leafs are gonna do that.
I think that one is fake because the banners in the background look really funky in that picture.
AI
I
generated
think it was
leaks,
AI
man.
generated.
It has to be.
Can
But
I throw in another storyline from before
for
the season
October,
even started? No,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
think this was technically September. How about when the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers just went to war in a preseason
Oh
game?
man,
You remember that?
yeah.
Both sides is dressed goons only, and it was such a shit show. And
They
somehow only
made
Tampa got in trouble for it.
a preseason game feel like Game 7.
It was incredible, dude. They were fun. I think it was like a 7-1 game that Florida won, right? And then Tampa just continued to beat the crap out of them the entire night. Like it
It
did not, the score did
sucks.
not matter.
It sucks that Florida did not make the playoffs and we didn't see a series of between Tampa and Florida, which we might as well see it this year. You never know, but Florida's going to be 10 times healthier than they are now. Tampa, who knows what's going to happen with Tampa, but losing Radish kind of
I saw that
hurts.
they're gonna sign John Carlson,
I
Mr.
heard that. I
Florida.
heard that on Yeah, I was listening to the 32 Thoughts podcast on my way to work. And they mentioned that like that's weird. I didn't think they would be. I think they'd be more into a guy like Rasmus Anderson.
No, no, bro. That's your 7 year deal. That's your
No,
$5.5 million
no.
over 8
Hold on, hold
years.
on, hold on. You said 5.5?
Yeah, you're right. It's probably gonna be more than that.
Shit, low key 5.5. That might make me rethink. If it's 5.5, I'll take
If he,
that.
that's true. But if he signs for
That's
anything over six, a
no,
little
get him
unfortunate.
out. Get him out. But is that Bappel?
Mm,
Yo, you got
one of my
Bappel, bro.
last ones.
Nice. I was like, what the fuck did you get back? You stealing from my supply that ran out early June?
Hey, bro.
My non-existent supply.
No, this is
But
the one I found at a gas station in South Carolina driving back from Atlanta.
oh nice.
Not
I think
seen
you
a
told me about
single
that.
case in North Carolina, but I was able to find one there.
I think you told me about that. Yeah, but yeah, Carter Hart signing to Lightning and the Panthers beating each other off in the preseason.
They're what?
Um, they're beating each other off in the
They
preseason.
were what? They had a beat off in the first game of the preseason, bro. Come on.
But yeah, I still think that like as much as I would like Hellebuck because I think Hellebuck would flourish here in Vegas. You know, he looks like Adam Driver. I think that's the guy's name, right? Adam Driver.
Kylo Ren, yeah.
He looked like Kylo Ren. That he looked like Andrew Luck a little bit. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna
That's
be a
all you
problem.
needed.
Yeah, Andrew Luck is back somehow. But yeah, I still think Hart is the number one goalie heading into next season for the Golden Knights. And another thing that I'll kind of touch up on is like Alex Formenton was his rights were released by the Senators. That's a guy the Golden Knights are circling on before the trial started. So I wouldn't be shocked
Dude, they're
if
just gonna
he
reassemble
ends
the
up
Canada
signing.
Five. That's insane.
Yeah, another one is that like we'll touch up on this later, but Dylan Dubé might be signing an NHL contract with the Blues. So
Oh my God,
yeah, they're
bro.
coming back, guys. And then yeah,
Ube of all, like he was the
Dubé.
worst. He was on the ice. He was the worst one.
Yeah, and you got to think, Cal Foot. Maybe he signs a NHL contract with the Hurricanes. Like
I
Carter
hope
Hart.
not. I
Carter
hope
Hart was just the beginning. Like Carter Hart was like the most likely one to get signed immediately to an
yeah.
NHL contract out of the five. It's now just start. They're all just gonna start trickling back up to the NHL like one by one. Like if the Dubé thing is true, I could see Carolina like because it was Carolina's decision to sign Foot to an AHL deal. If I
Kind
remember,
kind of. I think technically Chicago's the one that did it. Like we don't have the rights to him but it was only because of the blowback. Like people were calling threatening to cancel season tickets when
yeah,
that
they
first got
like
leaked.
when
Because they ran
McLeod
on
and
Hart
Hart,
too.
yeah, and
Yeah.
McLeod. Like
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
I
that's what it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They wanted to
I could
sign
just
McLeod or Hart.
there's an alternate universe where the Hurricanes sign Carter Hart and they lose the final.
And he
Unfortunately, we
keeps
don't live in that
himself in the finals
universe.
for us. You know what? I'll
Aiden,
say it. As a Carolina fan, thank God y'all signed Carter Hart. I
no.
don't think the finals would have gone in six otherwise.
just to just to wrap this up though, it's going to be interesting. But at the time, because it was Carter Hart and the Vegas Golden Knights. That's two very unpopular things combining together. And now I've had to endure a full season of people saying Vegas Golden sex offenders. Listen,
I mean,
listen. It's I
when you sign
appreciate
an
the
offender,
effort. I appreciate the effort, but that's Reddit. That's Reddit. That's
yeah.
Reddit.
Um,
Anyways, just to put a
all right,
ball
I
on
know you
that.
want to wrap, but dude, George McPhee needs to stop going on podcasts and stop doing interviews.
When was he on a podcast?
Well, I think it was either him or it might have been Foley, but they went on to like a Toronto network before the Cup Finals and were pretty much just shitting all over Toronto for like running Mitch out of town, like doing a victory lap before he'd even won. And then his press conference,
Oh,
he's like, I think people are uncomfortable admitting that we're doing a damn good job. Who said you guys weren't doing a good job? That's not why people hate you. That's
no, they're
not why
doing a
people
good
hate you.
job. It's just the ethics of it. The
Yeah,
ethics.
it's like people hated on the 23 Golden Knights, but that was because of like salary cap. Now you're
Yeah.
just signing assholes. Like now you're just bringing together the Sinister
Fuck it.
Six, bro.
Gudis, welcome to Vegas, my man.
Okay, sorry, moving
All
on,
right.
moving
Yeah, we're
on.
wrap. Okay. That's October. What happened in November? November was a really
Not a lot, but I do remember one storyline kind of emerging for me was Matthew Schaefer. A lot of people looked at him and it's just like, holy crap, wait, this kid's good. He had
Oh
like
yeah.
what, 23 points in his first 21 games for an Islanders team that was not expected to do anything. I mean, they ended up doing nothing, but they were in the playoffs for a while because of him.
They
Um,
had a shook though. They had a shook though.
they had us in the first half. Um, but yeah, I'd say Schaefer, man. Like seeing a first overall pick come in and dominate like that. The last couple have really not done that.
Hold on. So,
Oh, is there breaking news?
not breaking news, but a huge rumor. Nick Kyprios. I don't know if that's how you spell that, but it sounds like Dylan Larkin might be heading to Dallas.
Oh no. They're gonna do the Robertson swap.
Oh, if that's no, because that's a guy who I thought, Robertson to Ottawa, but I don't think Robertson wants to go to Ottawa of all places.
No. There's I look, I kind of feel bad for Ottawa at this point because like they're not like a dumpster fire organization anymore.
They're not
City's all right. Nobody wants to live in Canada right now, especially
back to back
Americans.
playoff appearances. Yeah,
Yeah. But all of their stars they had to draft. You know, like
yeah,
they traded for DeBrincat, he left. They traded for Chikrin, he left. Tkachuk is an American that they drafted and developed, but even he's gone now.
yeah.
Like it's just the way it goes for them.
I think going back to November, I think another like huge thing that was happening was like I think another thing was like for me personally as a Golden Knights fan, like the Golden Knights were just losing in overtime a lot early on the season. Like they
That's
would
when they're
fight
stacking
back.
up the losses.
Oh man, oh man. There was a game because this is the last time I was in Minnesota. There was a game in Vegas between the Islanders and the Golden Knights. It was like 3-3 going to overtime. Like, and the Golden Knights get a power play 5-on-5, which, you think most of the time they would score on. I think immediately Jean Gabriel Pajot gets the puck, scores on a breakaway, shorthand. I'm like,
A five
I
on three goal. Oh,
no, it
brother.
was a 4-on-3, 4-on-3,
4 on 3. Okay, okay. That's not as bad. That's not as bad.
and I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck?
He paid money for
And
that.
yeah, I paid ESPN Plus money for that. And then, like the trip goes on and, I go see the Golden Knights play in Minnesota because they're on a back to back. First red flag I saw was us starting Carl Lindbaum. Listen, Carl Lindbaum is a goalie. I think he'll have a bright future. He was not ready yet, especially because
No.
we played St. Louis the night before. You could have started him and had Akira Schmid against Minnesota. No, we had a pretty much undercooked goalie going up against Kaprizov, Boldy, who else? Zuccarello, Unk Tarasenko. Um, yeah, and you know, I think
Oh,
the
speaking of
Wild.
Tarasenko, did you see that he fired another agent?
I saw he's with Milliston now, isn't it?
He's on like his what, his eighth agent in his
Yeah,
13 years, bro. What is
it's
going on with
crazy.
that guy?
But yeah, like this is when like the Knights were just losing and losing in overtime, but they were still like in top three division talks, and like there's no way we win the division at this point in the season. We ended up winning the division, but um yeah, another like I guess a big storyline coming out of November was the dominance of the Avalanche because like they were just
Oh yeah.
so good early on, and you could just kind of I always had this feeling like President's Trophy winners they never almost never make it to the Stanley Cup final most of the time. Like they
They
like
run out of
honestly
gas at some
bare
point.
minimum you get to the conference finals and you're good, which is like that's
Yeah.
realistically low expectations. Yeah, that was like there was really much going on in, November, but
I do
big
remember a very good game between the Avalanche and the Hurricanes when they wore the Nordiques and the
oh
Whalers
yeah,
jerseys against each other for
the
the first time.
Nordiques and Whalers jerseys.
Cinematic game. Avalanche go up 4-3 at one point. Kane scored late. I think it was Stan Coven got the goal. Freddie Anderson, even though he let up 4 goals, had one of his best performances of the season, and they won in a shootout in the Whalers jerseys. It was just perfect. Such a great
Yeah.
game. They just scored, but then lost anyway. Cinema.
I think there was also like a 9-1 game between the Avalanche and the Oilers.
Oh my God, yeah, because that was another one of those games where they got the classic shot of Draisaitl and McDavid looking miserable on the bench. And it kind of turned around the Oilers season because the Oilers
Yeah.
the last couple of years, including this year, got off to a super slow start. And this one, they lasted till like the end of November until they started winning games again.
Yeah. That's kind of the trend. Like they start super slow and you think they would somehow make the cup final after three
It's
straight
called
slow starts.
Oiltober. It's where they just suck
Oiltober.
ass for all of October.
Oiltober. That's going to be the first post, like a new graphic. Oiltober.
Oiltober.
But yeah, no, November, not really much happened. December though, that's when things really kicked off. This is a continuation from October. That's when Carter Hart made his return. A 4-3 shootout win over the Chicago Blackhawks. I was there for that game. I got my ticket for free. But wow, it was like I wanted the Knights to win. I just didn't know like how much I wanted them to win. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And to give credit where credit is due, from specifically, and I mean specifically, a hockey standpoint, he was good that night. He wasn't good for the rest of the time he was healthy before his first injury, but
Yeah.
um he played great. I mean, that's all I can say, but I think the bigger elephant in the room in the month of December has to be Quinn Hughes, the first domino to fall potentially in the USA Olympic files, going from Vancouver to Minnesota. And I think because I was at work, right? I work at a hockey shop here in Vegas. Um, I was just looking at my phone because I have my notifications on Do Not Disturb. I
Right.
look at my phone, I check my notifications like, oh, Quinn Hughes traded Minnesota. Cool. Wait, what? You said who went where now?
Wait, who? Nah, because that was another one where it's like it kind of came out of nowhere. Like we were thinking if he got traded, it'd be like this summer or
To New
maybe at the
Jersey.
deadline. Yeah, to New Jersey. Like it was a slam dunk. Fitzgerald was gonna get it done. And yeah, there were rumors around that time, but um, it seemed destined for New Jersey, and then boom, Minnesota. Honestly, I think Vancouver got a good trade package in return. Like it's another one of those things. Like you have
Yeah.
to trade a star player. At least you got some pieces back. Marco
Yeah.
Rossi's gonna be a dog. But what a trade for Minnesota, man. Like Bill Guerin putting his balls on the table once
His
again.
meatballs, his meatballs on the table, if you remember,
His
right?
meatballs on the table.
Cooking meatballs doing the trade. Like, you mind washing your hands first?
Minnesota. It worked out really well for him
It
overall,
did.
I'd
It
say.
did.
Like, they could have gone a little bit deeper in the playoffs, but they ran into the Avalanche, who
And
for
they
the
had and
first
they
two
had
rounds.
and they had Ryan Hartman first line center. You could
Yeah.
only do so
Yeah.
much. You could only do so much, but
But Quinn
yeah.
Hughes and Brock Faber might be the best pairing in the NHL. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unreal
It's up
watching them
there.
play. They were good in the Olympics too. They didn't play all their minutes together, but they had a good amount of shifts together, and they were
Yeah.
really solid.
Yeah, but yeah, Quinn Hughes, Minnesota, and that was really kind of like the it headline of the that was the it headline of that month, and I don't really think anything else went down that month, unless I'm missing something.
Off the top of my head, no. The regular season overall, I feel like for the most part was pretty standard.
Yeah.
But and up to this point, because this is like around the time Buffalo was making their turnaround, but they
Oh
weren't fully
yeah,
there yet.
they
They still
fired they
like
fired the GM.
oh, Kevin Adams. Yeah, okay, there we go.
They
That's a good
fired
one.
Kevin
Kevin
Adams.
Adams
Yeah,
gets
there we go.
fired. Terrible. I look, Kane's legend, '06 champion. Terrible GM. Like he was awful. He only got hired because he knew Pagula as like a neighbor and kept his job for way too long. The Sabres bring in Jarmo Kekalainen and they somehow get a coach bump out of it. Like you don't see
The
that a lot.
GM bump. The GM
Yeah,
bump.
yeah, they got a GM bump. It makes Lindy Ruff just turned that team around. I want to say it really kicked off after their international games. I can't remember exactly where they played. Were they in Sweden this year?
I think so. Kind of has to be. Darlene's from there.
Yeah, I
You
want to
think?
say it was Sweden. And after that, they really like were unbeatable, and they skyrocketed all the way up to first in the division.
Yeah, like that's I just think like that the entire like Sabres storyline, it just kind of felt like the inaugural season Golden Knights, if that makes any sense. Not because
Yeah.
like oh, because everyone thought Buffalo was not going to do well. Like we've heard years like oh, this is the year Buffalo finally breaks through. They don't make the playoffs. It was that story on repeat to the point where like okay, Buffalo's not going to make the playoffs. Why do we even like bother like saying they will? And then they flip a switch, and all of a sudden they're winning. And like, okay, the streak's not going to last that long. They're going to fall back to earth eventually. They win again. They win again. They win again. To the point where they win the division, and that's something we'll touch up on as we get into closer to the playoffs and then everything else. Um, but yeah, no, that was just it's up to because like the worst part is though it's like Yarmo's going to get some credit for this, but technically Kevin Adams built this team. That's all
That's
I'll say.
true. That's very true. I mean, all Kekalina brought in was Shannon Stanley. I don't think he brought in anybody else.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's when Buffalo started like finally get clicking and it was well deserved, honestly. Well deserved from the city of Buffalo. And I hope
Yeah.
they'll be back. I hope this is not a 2024 Canucks situation where they just fall back to earth a year later.
I I think they're gonna be back, but it's not gonna be with Bowen Byram, who wants $10 million a year
Yeah, no,
reportedly.
you're out of you're off your gourd. You're
Who's
smoking.
paying him that?
You're
Who's
no
paying Bo
nothing.
Byram $10 million?
Not anyone.
No,
But
not a serious team anyway.
yeah. Yeah, but the Buffalo Sabres run, that's what it all just kind of started. And then we get into January, and then we talked about this guy earlier. Rasmus Anderson becomes a Golden Knight. I wonder if Vegas is feeling a little bit of buyer's remorse on that because he did not he had an okay playoff until the Stanley Cup final, and then game two of the Stanley Cup final happened. And I think honestly, that changed the series. Because like if
Yeah,
Carolina loses that game, going down 2-0 to Vegas, going back to Vegas, that's a very tall order.
that was the moment where they got back into the series. But I think the moment where they won the series is when they came back from 4-0 the next game. And
That's
Anderson had a
also
really
true.
big part in that too. A
Yeah.
really big part in that.
Like, oh man, like you could say that Vegas has a handshake agreement. This is Vegas we're talking about, man. This is Vegas.
I'm
They
ripping
ain't
that
loyal to
contract up.
shit. Dude, I'd FaceTime him with the contract burning in my hands. Like, you can go fuck off. You can go to Arizona. They're not even a team anymore. Shout out to the Coyotes though. Rest in peace to a real one. But yeah, no, like I think Vegas lost the series in game two. And that's probably something I could have said on the last podcast, which is recapping the final. But yeah, no, like yeah, like that goal to that terrible turnover that led to Stankoven's goal in game two, that was the momentum shifter. And if Vegas goes up 2-0 heading back to Vegas, I don't see why Vegas doesn't reverse the series in six, if that makes any sense.
I think you're right. Like that would have been
Because I
such a
definitely
big
think
hill to
they would
climb.
have won. I think they still would have won game. I think they still would have won game three. I think they lose game four, and then Carolina wins game five at home, and then they lose in six. That's how I think the series could have gone if Anderson didn't Rasmus Anderson.
And then right after that, you saw a Hart really bad goal to
Yeah,
Jankowski, and then you saw Tortorella with a terrible challenge, cost
yeah.
his team, and then it was all of a sudden it's 3-2.
But I think the real part is like you lost a guy that like since giving up Anderson, you didn't really have any stay-at-home defensemen. And if we were to trade for Anderson, I did not want to give up Zach Whitecloud, and we ended up giving up Zach Whitecloud, who I thought was probably one of our best outside of Brain McNabb stay-at-home guys.
I
Like
think
he
he would
was,
have played really well against Carolina's style too,
oh yeah, definitely.
like
Like
clogging up the middle the way he does.
Yeah, former Cup winner. Rasmus Anderson has never been there before. Why? It just didn't really make that much sense to me. Like you would
And
give up,
also, it was so clear that it was like a one-team race that was trading for him too.
yeah,
Right? Like I remember hearing over the summer before that Anderson was going to be a Golden Knight, pretty much inevitable, and it just kept getting pushed back until
yeah.
Vegas finally wanted him, I
And then
guess.
Boston just showed up out of nowhere. It's like, where did he come from? I'm like,
Why
but
do you why do you want this guy?
but I wouldn't be shocked if Vegas moved on from him. I also wouldn't be shocked if he signed an extension. It just kind of goes like, where could you sacrifice giving up Rasmus Anderson if you're Vegas? I think you can, especially if you like maybe somehow you get White Cloud back. I don't know. I doubt that happens. You guys like,
I,
hey, can we kick like you have the receipt here. You have
I got a six
you,
month
you pull up the
warranty.
receipt. Yeah. You have the receipt. Just like pull up, just like, hey, can we have that back, please? You can keep the picks. Can we just have White Cloud back, please? That's all I asked. But it's just like even back then, there was still kind of a bit mind-boggling because it's like, okay, Vegas, they already have Shea Theodore, they already have Hannafin. Why do you need another offensive leaning puck moving defenseman? You really
It
don't need it.
it's the new shiny toy. They can't help themselves. Every year they got to get a new toy in there.
Yeah, but there was like I just felt like you could have done better. Like maybe at the deadline, I don't know. It's just right now it seems like he's gonna stay in Vegas, which is gonna suck because that either means we either have to shed a ton of cap to get Dorofeyev back, or we're losing Dorofeyev. And I've already heard that like a little bit of salt in this, but Dorofeyev might be traded, which that would crush me.
That would
That would
suck.
crush me because I
I
thought like that was like last playoffs. That was his like time. It's like, okay, I can play in the playoffs now. I can score goals in the playoffs. He had 10 goals, I think. 10, 12 goals, I think, in the playoffs.
I think they're scared of the offer sheet. Like it's
Even
been
then, like
rumored.
I would say give us the offer sheet. Give us four more picks, four first round
Okay,
picks.
okay. He's not getting that much because I think four picks is like 10 million plus in salary.
Yeah,
Y'all might be getting like a
if
like a
no
first,
one
second, and third.
no one should be that crazy, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. No one's giving up four picks for Dorofeyev.
I
It,
saw a fake trade earlier. I saw a fake trade where like a trade mock-up. It was Dorofeyev's rights to Seattle for Shane Wright. I was like, no, you're smoking.
are you kidding? That's a terrible
You're
trade.
that's horrible.
You,
You're we're giving a potential you're giving a 30 to 35 goal score. In my eyes, I can honestly see him scoring 50 if he develops right and he has the right system around him. If he's like a potential 50 goal scorer to Seattle for Mr. Potential Man of the NHL.
yeah, no,
Like,
no, can't do it.
no,
Cannot do
you
that.
can't do that. It has to, like, honestly, if he has to go to Detroit in a hypothetical Larkin trade, it's gonna suck, but I'm okay with it. I think Vegas is a very center heavy team first and foremost.
They
But
need to get rid of
fuck,
Hurdle. That like they have to get rid of that
Hurdle's gonna
salary.
be hard to get rid of
You're gonna
because
trade
he only has a 3 team list he could be traded to. And what if he just says,
Oh,
oh,
I
okay,
didn't know
I
it was
just
only three
okay,
teams.
it's only 3 teams. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna put all the teams that are just up against the cap and can't trade for me.
He's putting Florida, Minnesota, Carolina. That seems to be
That's
the trend recently.
hey, there was a rumor he was going to Carolina last year. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. They have enough cap space. Like if they can't work anything else out, I could seriously see that.
Koke swap 1 for 1. Let's do it.
Nah, Kokaniemi's getting bought out. It's pretty much it's all but confirmed. They're gonna wait till the last day so he can like party with the boys and all that. You know, he's at the parade, he lifted the cup. He's getting bought out. There's no way.
Yeah, that was such a funny moment though. The offer sheet.
Look, okay. It was funny that they did it. It did not work out. Like I think we can all admit it now. They wasted a first and a third on the actual offer sheet. Gave him 6 mil. He was okay. He had like maybe 25, 30 points. Then they give him an 8-year contract because they don't want to pay Vincent Trocheck. And that contract is one of Donnie Waddy's worst. One of Don Waddell's worst moves was the Kokaniemi contract. And that's saying something. This man gave Jake Gardner $4 million. in 2019.
Jake Gardner, man.
Speaking of
Oh man.
Jake Gardner, this is a little more on topic with the Chucks. Did you see the rumored trade in 2023 between
I did.
Carolina
I
and
heard
Florida?
about it. I heard about it. It was Natchez, Nichushkin, the
Nikishin.
salary of Jake Nikishin, not Nichushkin, wrong team. And it's like a few first round picks, I think two, and then his salary.
Look, I can see why we got beat out because I mean, Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar's a little bit better than that package, but I would have made that trade in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
They might have won the cup in 2024 if they had to Chuck, and they were still able to get Gensel. That's a cup winning team right there.
It would have been Vegas and Carolina, and that 2023 Vegas team was. I think they're winning no matter what, but that's a topic for another day. Um, okay, but yeah, back to January. Nothing really happened in January. Not that I can think of. I mean, the Sabres were still winning. They were still winning games.
Yeah, that was about. I mean, the Ducks started to look more legit. Like that was another team where we all kind of looked at them like, okay, wait,
Yeah,
they're kind of sticking around.
yeah.
They look
And then
good.
we get to February. We have the LA Kings trading for Artemi Panarin, which okay, that kind of boggled my mind because like the Kings at I think at the time they were not good. The Kings were not good.
They were right outside of the playoffs.
Yeah, right outside the playoffs. Kopitar's final year looking like the definition of mid, and you trade for Panarin for what reason? Like, I think what you really need is a coach because I honestly, despite how the Kings played for most of the season, that team is too talented to be where they were at the time.
They'll get a good year or two out of PD Laviolette, I
Yeah.
think.
Um, but I think we're looking at we're missing the elephant in the room here when we're talking about the month of February because the red, white, and blue took home gold for the first time since the Miracle on Ice Olympics in Lake Placid. I think that was just the Olympics were so much fun, but looking back
Yeah.
on it, like the way that the sport's moving now with like all the USA guys requesting trades and all that, I kind of wonder what would have happened if they lost. And maybe
I
nothing, but who
yeah,
knows?
like people might be over like because I've seen a couple of those posts talking about how the McKinnon missed shot changed the trajectory of the NHL. I wouldn't go that far because I think it was still the reason why you're seeing these trades now is because it was like a group of guys who were finally with elite players for the first time in a while. And, that taste of victory definitely did something to them. But I feel like it would have been the same either way. Like I feel like Tkachuk was gonna leave no matter what.
Yeah,
And no, yeah. What a fantastic tournament. Like
it
almost
was a
every
fantastic
game
tournament.
had such good action. I mean, Canada and USA obviously separated themselves from the pack, but Sweden, Finland had some really good performances. I thought Czechia was surprisingly good.
Yeah,
Even
there
the,
was a
even the
lot of
crap
good
teams that
games.
made it, man. Like Denmark
Italy,
had some really good games. Italy was electric to watch.
yeah. What was another like small team that was like really good?
Latvia had a couple of close calls.
Yeah,
I think they
Latvia.
were like within a goal against Canada in one game.
Yeah, like this is why I really want like because we're gonna have the World Cup of hockey in 2 years, but I really want like a FIFA styled World Cup where we have like 24 countries. Like I think that's a reasonably like fair amount of countries you can have because like you have like what 24 that's like six groups of four.
Dude, it would be fun, but that first round of action would just be like
Okay,
demolishing
maybe
teams.
like maybe make it like 16.
Yeah, I can see
16, yeah, 16 four groups of four. So that way you could have like, you have like your big dogs like Canada, USA, Sweden, Finland, potentially Russia thrown in there. If
or
if they
rest of world.
rest of world. I think they should just I think the Russian players should be able to compete just not under a Russian flag though. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I kind of don't mind the way the NHL did it, doing the
Yeah.
rest of the team. Like I think that was probably the best way to go because you're like, yeah, you can't let Russia
But even
use
then
that
like
much.
Germany kind of I thought Germany pulled their punches way better than they did the Olympics, and I think they deserve to have their own kind of like team there in the world in a World Cup esque tournament. Latvia, Sweden, or not Latvia, Italy. I think Italy, they're kind of like Cape Verde if you've been following the World Cup a little bit. Like
Yeah,
they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win, but they're gonna pull their punches and fight with their gut. Like I don't know if you saw. I don't know
there's
if you've
no
been following the
point
World
in
Cup.
inviting France because Bellemar's gone. Uh,
That's
what
goat.
a career if you're Edward Bellemare, bro. Love that guy.
That's goat. Yeah. France. I think. I mean, I guess you have what? I forgot. Texier, isn't Texier Canadian? Not Canadian, French.
Yeah, Texier's technically French. It's one of those. I think he
Uh,
has like dual citizenship.
yeah, but I guess we could leave out France, but like I would just love to see like an expanded like World Cup, like FIFA World Cup styled tournament. I think the World Championship is fine, but the U.S. just sent their shitters and Matthew Tkachuk to the tournament. Like they were not
Oh,
winning that shit.
they they didn't even try. And then Canada actually had a good lineup, but they still lost.
Yeah, I think the World Championship it's fine every other year, but I think if you have like if you had like a mid like this is what I thought like the NHL double IHF get together every 4 years instead of a World Championship, there's a World Cup that occurs after the Stanley Cup playoffs,
Oh, okay.
and it starts in like July and goes through like however long it takes to do a World Cup. And then it shouldn't really be like all like NHL players, but like maybe you could bring some like young talent though, like because like obviously there's gonna be guys who are partying with the Stanley Cup. There's gonna be a group of guys that just want to celebrate winning the cup. They don't want to go to a country and compete for the World Cup
That would
of
also
the
be
hypothetical World Cup of hockey.
an incredible amount of hockey in one year. Like, because
Yeah.
you're kind of taking up the entire offseason. Now the games are going to be starting in September. Like
Oh
those
yeah,
are
definitely. I definitely think it should be like if you could put it to like teams that like haven't made the playoffs or got eliminated round one. I think
yeah,
that could be something. But that whole Olympic tournament, that was just like that, like right now, since the NHL players came back, that's kind of what we have for a World Cup until the World Cup comes back
yeah.
in, was it
And
2028? That's when the World Cup's coming back?
I believe so because I think
Yeah.
they're finally doing the All-Star game with the Islanders in 2027.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun too because they're also doing like the international teams with that too.
Yeah, yeah. Which I that's the way to go. I mean,
Yeah.
they did such a good job with Four Nations. Like that was such a great product, and then it just
Yeah.
really set the stage for the Olympics.
The unfortunate thing is you can't just do that every year though. You can't do a four nations every year. People are gonna kill each other. Did you see that first USA Canada game? Jeez.
It's awesome. But no, USA winning the gold medal, that's probably a top three hockey moment in my life. Like I
Oh
can't
yeah.
think of any memories of waking up early as hell, day drinking early as hell for the
Waking up
USA.
4 a.m.
Yeah,
Waking up
I
your
got to get
sister
up
after
at
Jack
8.
Hughes scores.
Oh my God, man. That when that goal went in, jumped off the couch and the whole thing shifted back. I was so hyped. And the person I was watching
Yeah.
it with was actually cheering for Canada because her dad is Canadian. So she just kind of like has always cheered for Canada. And I was just like running around the living room, man. I almost got butt naked right there. That's how
But
much
yeah,
I
that
love it.
was we're not going to talk about any of the post game stuff because
Why? What happened?
no, we not, I'm not going to explain. But yeah, at the time that was a very that was so fun just watching that. It was up there with like USA winning back to back World Juniors. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Teddy Stiga's goal in overtime. That's a pretty good hockey memory.
Oh, shout out the women too. They also won the
Oh
gold
yeah,
medal.
shout out the women. I
Megan
feel stupid
Keller
now.
overtime goal was probably one of the
That
best in
was the
USA history. It
that
was
was
so disgusting.
the most disgusting goal I've ever seen, especially in a medal game. Shout out
Yeah,
Megan
won
Keller.
the gold medal. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like as good as as fun as the Jack Hughes moment was, it was kind of just a really good pass by Werenski to set him up.
yeah, and a good
That
shot
goal
too.
was yeah, yeah, yeah. That goal was just incredible. I mean, she
I
did the
see
Rick
someone call it a
Nash.
I see someone call it a sham god on ice. Like that's so good. Like Megan Keller.
That's so accurate.
Also, shout out the Paralympic team. They also brought home gold. It was a sweep in hockey for the United States
Yeah.
of America. That's something you never really see all that often.
No. I mean, what I mean, obviously they haven't won it since 1980, but even with all the close calls, there was always a big separation. And I think we're finally at the point where it's like, okay, these teams are actually pretty even between USA and Canada. I'd argue the women's team is like a step ahead of Canada. Absolutely no doubt.
Yeah, no, like the USA, like there was kind of like a running joke because like when the USA women's team were going to overtime with Canada, it was like, okay, here comes Mary Philippe Poulin with her mandate of heaven. Here comes an overtime goal from MPP, and it's like, wait, we won?
God, man. I was
It's just
watching that
another
game
thing.
at
It's like
work
it was just
at my
another thing. It's like
desk.
people were talking about like, oh, 3-on-3. You can't end a championship game 3-on-3. They got to end the Olympics somehow, and 3-on-3 is like arguably the best, like the fastest way to end a hockey game because if they had like 5-on-5, I guarantee you there's a better than 10% chance that USA Canada game goes to like five overtimes.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of agree with that. I think it kind of cheapened it just a little bit.
It
Because
cheapens
like,
it definitely, but like at the same time, they got to wrap that shit up somehow. And it's like, yeah,
yeah,
it's just unfortunate that they had to end it like that 3-on-3, but it's just the rules. And I think Crosby's was 4-on-4, if I remember. So
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that was the Olympics. Kind of the entire month of February was just was wrapped around the entire month of the Olympics and how insane that was. Like there were some pretty fun moments, like Mitch Marner's overtime goal against the Czech Republic. Um,
Yeah.
of course, the aforementioned Hughes. Both Quinn and Jack had overtime goals, I think.
I think Quinn's was against Sweden the game before,
Yeah,
right? And that was a
yeah,
great game. Um,
that was a
I
fantastic game
believe it was
too.
Gustafson just stood on his head. USA could not get anything by him.
Yeah, and then and of course the U.S. women just an absolutely dominant run. I don't think they let up a goal until the final game against Canada.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
like
They
just
were
a
they were just
shutout.
putting
Like,
people in clamps. It was
yeah,
unreal.
that was great, especially for a potential growth of the PWHL. Like, I don't know if you saw, like Lila Edwards got drafted to Detroit. No, San Jose. She got drafted to San Jose. Um,
The first four picks in the PWHL draft were all Team USA players.
that's just
That's
insane.
dominance right there. That's
Yeah.
dominance.
Shout out the goalie's name. I forgot her name. That I feel bad for forgetting her name because she was just electric that entire run. She didn't face too many shots, but when she had to make a save, she made the save. That's really all you could ask for from a goalie, to be honest with you. But it was still
Absolutely.
just dominant. Yeah, and that's February. March,
March,
you had the entire trade deadline. The push for the playoffs beginning. The trade deadline happened.
Kadri went back to Colorado.
Kadri, that was like the big that was like there's always like one trade that just kind of like just surprises you, and that one did for me because there was a report that said he's not going back to Colorado. So it's like why do you even care? And then boom, he's back in Colorado.
And
But
honestly, that might have been the only major player that really switched sides. I can't think of anybody
yeah,
else. Like there were, Toronto had a bit
rumors.
of a fire sale with Scott Laughton, Nick Waugh
There
gone.
was Colton Parayko. He was rumored to go to Buffalo, but he didn't with his no trade clause yet, and then
Oh,
he
that's
didn't.
right. Oh man, I feel so bad for Sabres fans because they that definitely would have been enough to get them to the conference finals, I would
Oh
say.
yeah,
Well, I think Colton
definitely.
Parayko is fantastic. I think he's such
Yeah.
a good defenseman.
But yeah, that's really March. But we get to the end of March, and I kind of have to bring this up again because it involves the Vegas Golden Knights, and that was the firing of Bruce Cassidy as head coach. And
So
here
wild.
comes John Tortorella, and when I first heard about it, I'm thinking about what the fuck.
Oh yeah, I
Just what
remember
the
doing the
fuck?
podcast with you. We were just like,
It
what
was
the
like
hell is
the
going on?
segment, and like I was like, okay, like you have Bruce Cassidy's system, and we eventually found out, okay, the players just didn't like the message didn't wear on, or like it was wearing on the players to the point where it's like, okay, something has to give. And I was so adamant, like it was like Kelly McCrimmon's fault for not building the roster. Now that they've been to the Stanley Cup final, I'm this is why you don't like misjudge Kelly McCrimmon. Kelly McCrimmon, he'll give you a move that is like so questionable, like trading Max Pacioretty and Dylan Coghlan for future considerations. Just he'll have you mind-boggling because Pacioretty was the leading goal scorer before we traded him. You had Fleury traded after he won the Vezina. It was an incredibly Mickey Mouse Vezina, by the way.
It should have been Vassy's. They just didn't
It
want to
should
give
have
him
been
the money.
Vassy. Like Kelly McCrimmon will just make the most mind-boggling moves, and they somehow work out. And I think that's a level to like 'cause some of it's like really good pro scouting because Vegas has really really good pro scouting. Like they picked Chandler Stevenson for nothing, and he ended up being a very good 2C.
Yeah, he got them like a $7 million contract in Seattle.
Yeah, and then of course you have Brett Howden who Vegas got, and I believe the Ryan Reeves deal that sent Reeves to the Rangers. He scored one goal.
Right. Forgot
He
that's how
scored
they got
one goal with the Rangers, and he's now the all-time single playoffs goal scorer for the Knights with 14 goals, which is crazy to think about because I have a Marchessault jersey hanging up in my closet. Like he was the previous record holder, and now he's second to Brett Howden, and they didn't even win the cup this year. But
Yeah. Why? What happened?
nah, you ain't no 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 no.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna get you with it, bro. I'm gonna keep doing it
Bro, the
all
Panthers
off
are coming.
season.
Panthers are coming for you, bro. The Panthers are coming.
Look, look. I'm telling you right now, Panthers are too old. Kane's gonna get some. They're gonna get somebody. They're gonna. Tulski's gonna bring in some Robertson, Larkin, Pedersen, Thomas. It doesn't
You got.
matter.
I think
They're going
Jason
back to
Robertson would
back.
be fantastic. Jason Robertson would be
He would fit
fantastic
the
on the Hurricanes.
system like a glove, and you could just give them their first round pick back as a part of the deal.
Yeah, I could see that happening, but but yeah, Vegas fired Torts, and it was just kind of like a what the fuck kind of signing at when it happened. But you know, as it played out, it kind of worked.
Yeah.
And I think continuing on from what December happened, I think this is like the crowning moment that the Sabres made the playoffs, and finally made the division or won the division too, which was very monumental. Like even getting to the playoffs would probably been enough for Sabres fans. Like they could be a second wild card, barely making it in by a point, getting swept by the Hurricanes in the first round, and I think they would have been happy. But to go all the way and win the division and then eventually win a playoff series, I think that's just storybook, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, because the rest of the Atlantic Division just ate each other for the rest of the year. I mean, Ottawa, Montreal, Tampa, they're just taking points from each other left and right. Somehow the Sabres just skyrocketed up there, man. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And a
But oh, go ahead.
testament too to Alex Tuck and Tage Thompson. I feel like they were probably the biggest parts of that ascent. Like they
Yeah.
really stepped their game up after the Olympics.
Unfortunate part is that it looks like Alex Tuck might be on his way out. Who knows?
Golden
It's,
Knight, is he coming home?
I don't think so. I unfortunately think he might be a Seattle Kraken, which would be very funny. They're gonna keep
Oh
stacking up
God.
middle six. The the good thing is though, I think Alex Tuck might be a bit above middle six. He's
Yeah,
definitely
he's
top
top
six
six
though.
minimum. Yeah.
Top six.
Still might be a second liner, but he's a really high-end second liner. So that he'd probably be
Yeah.
the best player on their team. It's perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just Buffalo kind of capturing the momentum the last bit of the season, like the second half of the season, making it all the way to the second round. I think it ended in a very disappointing fashion for Buffalo, but I still think you can hang your head high, Sabres fans. Like that's you deserved a run like that, and you've been deserved a run like that for years. Like it
Yeah.
was Buffalo's moment to shine, and they shone.
They were a bounce away from the conference finals,
They
and
were.
you knew they were a good team because over the course of the season, people actually started to get expectations for them. Very quickly it went from are they going to make the playoffs to oh they better win a round or two.
Yeah. Um. All right. Oh, Pierre LeBrun on Overdrive said teams are keeping a close look on Zach Werenski.
Oh, Don Waddell, do not do it. Don Waddell, just fucking pay the man. Do not do it. Do not trade
Yeah.
him, please. Like whatever you get back, it's not going to be worth it. He just
I
won
don't
the
know.
North.
I it's still though because like Columbus is a team that like they haven't fully been able to like recapture what they had. Like Columbus is a team that's always like they either do good and miss the playoffs or they're ass and they miss the playoffs. There's no in between.
They're
I think
perennial miss.
Columbus they just needed like a full retool. Like I even said this since the unfortunate passing of Johnny Gaudreau. It's like they kind of just need like a full like reset of everything. And maybe trading Rowinski starts that move. Who knows? Starts that
I mean,
movement.
dude, if the Chuck got three first round picks and a second, Werwinski might net them four first round picks. Like honestly.
He might be offer sheet compensation level of good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I don't
Uh
know if it would ever actually work, but Donnie, if you want multiple firsts and Alexander Nikishin back, we'll take Werwinski.
nah, you got to keep Nikishin. Nikishin just
He's
looks amazing.
he's great. I love Nikishin. He's going to be a stud. If we have the chance to get Werwinski, you got to do it. Werwinski Slavin would be the
If you want to
best
keep
pairing ever.
the cup window open though, I think you got to keep Nikishin longer.
Oh
Longer
yeah,
than
if we
shorter.
if we
Yeah.
want like yeah
If you
yeah
like
that could be fair.
The Florida Panthers just amped up their nuclear arsenal. You gotta be ready for the long haul.
They gave us a week to enjoy it, and then they're like, "All right, man, we got to remember that we're here."
Why? What happened?
2023 and 2025 happened. Although I will say this Hurricanes team is so much different than either one of the.
I think they beat the 2023 team, this Hurricanes
They
team.
beat the shit out of them. It would be like the Montreal series.
If 2025, no,
2020,
I
that's
don't
one
think.
of I no, I don't think the Canes beat the 25 Panthers. No, that's one of the greatest teams ever assembled. But
Yeah,
a little bit older now. Not gonna be as fast. Sam Bennett's slowing it down. Marchand's getting old. They won't have Bob. I could see us beating them. I think it'll be a
yeah.
very even series once they play in the conference finals. Which just go ahead, skip me to that, please.
All right. We are going to be taking a quick break here on the Coast to Coast show. It's not the Coast to Coast podcast anymore. It's the
Coast to
Coast to
coast
Coast show.
show.
This is the first episode after I've launched Coast to Coast Sports. After we get done talking about the entirety of the Stanley Cup playoffs, including the Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup, we'll go a little bit more about what Coast to Coast Sports is. But we'll be taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast show. Currently going over the 25-26 season in its entirety, some of our favorite moments of it. We got through the regular season, very exciting season, capped off by the Olympics. But I think where storylines really came to shine were in the first round of the NHL playoffs. Let's start with I would say an upset. The Anaheim Ducks defeating the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games. And honestly, defensive masterclass from the Ducks in that series. I mean, they completely shut down McDavid and Draisaitl. Jackson Lacombe had a coming out party. Only what are your thoughts on the Vegas Golden Knights first round series against Utah?
I kind of felt like because it was just a repeat of what happened in Minnesota the year before. Vegas goes up, splits the series in Vegas, goes to Utah, loses game 3, wins game 4 in overtime, comes back to Vegas. They win game 5 in overtime, and then they win game 6 and pretty much shut down fashion. Not really in Minnesota,
Yeah.
but in Utah, definitely.
That
Uh,
series
I
was over
think,
in game 4. I
I
mean,
think, I think the biggest series though was Carolina's first series against the Ottawa Senators because people were saying, "Oh, the Senators are going to win." Senators in 6.
Sens in six. It's gonna be
You guys don't know puck. You guys do not know puck because 3 seconds after the puck drop, you see Jordan Staal grabbing Tkachuk by the collar. And
punch
oh,
him right in the back of the head.
little 1-2. Like I think Carolina set the tone early in these playoffs, especially the first and second round. They set the tone
Yeah,
early, and I think it's the big reason why they were able to win the Stanley Cup. Like Vegas, they played 2 6 game series. They beat the Avalanche in four, and then I kind of wanted that series to go longer
right.
than Carolina series because it's the same story that happened in 2018. Vegas beat the Jets in 5 games. The other series goes seven. Vegas beats the Avalanche in four. Carolina was in five. Carolina not as much rest, or Vegas didn't, or not as much rest as Vegas, but Vegas still got a majority of the rest. And I think that's if you're the Golden Knights, you should have choked a few games against the Avalanche. Why not?
But then the reason why I think the sweeps are so important is because this was the first Canes run I can remember. They did not have a single injury.
Yeah.
Like I know Mike Riley got into a game. I think Ghost was hurt for game one against Philly, but that's it. That's the only injury, and it's because they got six
No, did
days
he
of rest
play?
after.
I swear he played.
Mike Riley,
No, Gus Spare.
he got it was either him or Walker that were banged up before the Philly series. But they came back after like game two, game three. Mike Riley was not in there for long.
Yeah,
Um,
but
but they
didn't
got
matter.
6 days of rest after Ottawa, and then 11, 12 days of rest after Philly. And I think that kept them healthy throughout the playoffs, and it kept their energy up the entire time.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, they just set the tone. They were like, okay, you think you're a good team, and Ottawa played hard or whatever, but not getting a single lead, I think is pretty much the most dominant way you can sweep a team.
Yeah. Oh, the entire just room just went dark.
Like fucking cats walking in front of the light.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like I think the Montreal Canadiens run. Is your cat knocking over the camera as well?
Yep. Get the fuck off the bed. Okay. We should be good now. Technical difficulties, sorry.
But it's like I think the Canadians run. It was a very lucky run, but a run to the conference finals is a run to the conference finals, no matter how you slice it. Um,
Probably the two best series of the playoffs, too. Outside of the
yeah,
cup final, I would say. I mean, that
yeah.
7 game series against Tampa was incredible.
And personally, I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, these playoff like it's kind of like a trend. Like the early, like the round one, like playoffs, it's like the greatest hockey you've ever seen. Round two is just where it starts to cater. I felt like it was every series had something to give, whether you found it entertaining or not. Like even the sweep, the Colorado Avalanche sweeping the Golden, or no, vice versa, Knights sweeping the Avalanche. I just you like that was just shocking. Like even if
It
it
was a
was a
bad
sweep,
playoffs on paper because every series was kind of short, but the
yeah,
actual game action was incredible.
yeah, even the Montreal Carolina games after game one, like game two was
Yeah,
double overtime, or no, it was single overtime, overtime again in game three.
and I'm not
They,
going to lie. Games 4 and 5 were kind of just a beating, but
oh yeah, no,
it's
that
still
was
pretty
like you
for
were
the
putting your
books.
foot down and like just winning those games. But like, yeah, that last game four of Colorado Vegas was pretty good. It was a 2-1 thriller. Like like it was a very fun playoffs, and then the Stanley Cup final just cranked it up a lot. Especially those first 4 games were legit the best hockey from a neutral standpoint that I've ever watched.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean,
and then game five was just like I think Vegas was starting to like just run out of gas, and Carolina just seized the moment. I
the big
think,
dogs woke up. I mean, it's
yeah,
simple as that. Svechnikov and Aho got on the board, and there's no way they were losing.
yeah. Um, and then game six, I never thought I'd see the storm surge for the first time in my own building. I thought I would at least have to wait to get to a Carolina game to watch them do the storm surge. No, they doing that shit on my
Okay,
home ice. That was
how
actually
did
really
you
fun.
feel about that? Like, did you feel like that was too disrespectful, or you just
They
kind of
won
like
the
went,
cup. They won the
yeah,
cup.
okay,
They
okay?
won the
Because I saw
cup.
some people get mad at that, but it's like, dude, they won the
They
cup.
won
Who
the cup.
cares? And there were enough Canes fans in the audience that it's kind of like, okay, I mean, like whatever, they
Yeah.
were doing it too.
I was actually kind of surprised there weren't more Canes fans in the crowd. I'm gonna be completely honest. I get that coming to Vegas is a bit expensive, but shit, I mean, tickets were going down because Knights fans were selling them. Like
Yeah, they
they
went
didn't want
down
to
to
see that
like a
shit.
thousand bucks, and that was way cheaper than the Carolinas would be. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
like
yeah,
I was like, it sucks that they had to do it on my home ice, but they won the cup. They could piss on the ice for all I care about. But yeah,
that game was over after Carter Hart let in that goal to Taylor Hall. That game was
Rasmus
over.
Anderson blunder again.
Yep, yep.
Um, but
Slavin,
yeah, the
I'll never forget that play as long as I live, I think.
yeah,
Slavin gets the turnover, outlet
not
pass,
really, not really
streak.
much of a month of recap, but just like a kind of like a playoff recap. What was the biggest storyline for you that wasn't the Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup coming out of everything?
I'm honestly, it's hard to look past the Mitch Marner storyline because every round it got more and more important. It was like, wait, holy crap, this guy's scoring at an unprecedented pace. So yeah, honestly, yeah, the most interesting storyline to me was John Tortorella, Mitch Marner, and the Golden Knights going on that run. Because everyone knew that
Yeah,
they were good, but I don't think people expect them to be that good. Like I mean,
yeah.
I picked Utah in the first round personally. Like I thought they'd just be a team that was there,
Can
and
I say
they
something that's gonna piss a lot of people off?
yeah
I don't know why, but this Golden Knights team reminds me a lot of the 2023 Panthers for some reason. I can't put my finger on it.
yeah. I mean, because they had similar amount of wins, and now the only difference was you guys had an easy ass division, so you fucking won it with 37 wins. But still, like, and then you went up against a top seed in the conference finals and you swept them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then
I can see the turn.
honestly just lost to the team that wanted it more. Like
Yeah,
and they ran out of gas. Like Florida 2023, they ran out of gas in the finals, losing Tkachuk hurt. Vegas lost Carlson against Carolina, that hurt. And then when those guys weren't playing in the elimination game, Tkachuk for Florida, Carlson for Vegas, you just kind of knew, okay, it's more than likely over for this team. And I'm not saying Vegas is going to rip back-to-back cup wins because that would be insane, but I would keep my eye out for the Golden Knights. I think Ryan Craig, I'm very excited for Ryan Craig as the head coach. I think he's a guy that they wanted to be the head coach for a while. I just when they fired Cassidy, they just thought it was too early because Henderson was on a run to the playoffs, and they just want
yeah.
to keep that intact. I heard Joel Ward is actually now the Henderson coach, which is pretty cool.
He was assistant coach with you guys, right?
Yeah, he was assistant coach, yeah.
Okay, that's
So we
pretty
might be
cool.
seeing Joel Ward head coach at some point. You never know. That would be
And
something.
I think what they proved too is that like the system always worked. It was just Cassidy specifically kind of lost the
Yeah,
run, and it was
yeah,
they just weren't listening to him anymore.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be exciting for Vegas going forward, seeing what they do. I think another big storyline was just um it was just kind of like the going back to the Oilers, it was like I knew they weren't going to make the conference finals. Not in the finals, the Stanley Cup finals. It's hard to make back to back, let alone back to back to back Stanley Cup finals. It's just like kind of the way they went out was kind of pathetic too. It's like, wow,
Oh
you
yeah,
guys
they did
suck.
not look like a team.
Yeah. And then they're hiring Mike Babcock, which that's going to do something.
Look, from a motivation standpoint, maybe he fits, but from like what has he shown in his last two tenures? Not even counting Columbus because he was there for 75 days and didn't even get to training camp. What has he shown that makes you think you're gonna win a Stanley Cup with this guy? Like he treats his star players like shit most of the time, and he treats the depth
Yeah.
players even worse, and then the younger players even worse than that.
But even then, it's like when it comes to like McDavid, I think that's the guy. Babcock might be a guy who could gel well with the McDavid though, because McDavid's a
Yeah.
competitor. He wants to
And
win the Stanley Cup in Edmonton.
and
And if
obviously
it
McDavid
takes,
wants him.
yeah, and if it takes Mike Babcock to help the Oilers win the cup, that would be a firestorm, by the way, if that happened. If it took McDavid getting Mike Babcock and going scorched earth, Homelander-esque on the team, it preach how it works, but but it's just wild. Like this guy was fired from Columbus, and the preseason hadn't even start yet, and
They were
now
still in training camp.
he was still there. He's going to the Oilers. Like after
So
Bruce
weird.
Cassidy talks,
Okay, and also, what were they investigating that took that long and that like almost held up his employment, but they couldn't find any legal reasoning to keep him out? Like, what was
there
the point of
was
even going into it?
there was something that on the 32 Thoughts podcast mentioned was that like okay, it's it didn't seem like the NHL didn't want this to happen. The NHLPA definitely didn't want this to happen, but they let it happen anyway. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Oilers respond to it.
Unfortunately, I mean, like, you know how these things work. Like every head coach, like you remember when Florida hired Paul Maurice, and
Yeah.
people were like, "What the hell are they doing?" And blah blah blah. It's how this cycle works. He'll make it
Yeah.
to the Cup Finals, and then refuse to pull his goalie and they'll lose, something like that. Refuse whatever. Oh, I heard this earlier. Well, how would you feel about Bobrovsky to Edmonton?
It's not going to happen. I don't feel like it's going to happen. I feel like I feel like Edmonton was circling around on Bennington.
No,
I kind of just kind of feels it just that just kind of feels how like to me this is just based on my own feeling and merit. I just feel like Bennington is just an Oiler. Like he's been linked with the Oilers for a long time.
I could
So,
definitely see that. I
yeah.
could definitely see that.
I think Bobrovsky, who knows where Bobrovsky goes? It's not going to be Florida, that's for sure.
If it's not Florida and Edmonton's not able to get him, I really don't know who else fits because he's gonna want to go to a contender. I mean, he's not gonna
Yeah.
go to like a rebuilding team,
Unless he's okay with sitting behind another goalie.
which even then, man, I
I mean
can't.
he's getting up there in age. He probably has to think, okay, how long can I keep this going? Because he wants 6 years.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah,
I
buddy.
I don't know how those contracts are still legal. It's like there's no way this guy's gonna be playing at 43 years old. Can you give me a break?
Yeah. But yeah, like that's just wild in and of itself. Um, what else? Like, of course, the Larkin trade, potential trade, the trade request, the Brady Tkachuk trade we talked about earlier. It's like the offseason is going to be fun, and a few days away. I think this week actually is the NHL draft, and we are going to have a live stream for that. It's going to be a blast. I got those days off of work. We're gonna do night one definitely. Night two depends how bad the hangover is because I'm gonna be drinking Friday night. But
We will be drinking.
yes, we will be drinking. Hope you guys are excited for that. We were gonna try and get some guests to show up night one. That hasn't really been a successful plan so far, but hopefully we can get some guys in. If you're interested in being a guest on that live stream, we'll let you guys know. Um, but yeah, that's this has been the first episode of the Coast to Coast show, not the Coast to Coast podcast anymore, the Coast to
Coast to
Coast
coast
show.
show.
And like a certain Canes fan friend has said to me, what's your favorite episode?
The next one.
The next one. All right. This has been the Coast to Coast show. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olin. I forgot my name for a minute. Don't know why. This has been Donnie Waddy,
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll see you on the next one.
The next one.